Biz Podcast, as usual, sponsored by soc.consulting. And today we have another special guest, my guy, Daryl Antonio. But you'll know him from his Instagram page as the baddest barber. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing super fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. You know, what's interesting is that, we were just talking before we started recording. I had never actually met him before. I never met Daryl before. But I had gotten word that some of my former students took one of his classes and they told me how good his class was. So I had to make sure that I connected to him. So, that's what this is all about, being able to connect and network with all these different professionals in the industry. So Daryl, how'd you get started?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from? How did you get started in the industry?
Okay. I'm originally from Augusta, Georgia. I was born in Augusta, but my dad was in the Army, so we moved a lot. So I ended up going to high school in Warner Robins, Georgia. So now I claim Warner Robins. So,
Okay.
but I'm originally from Augusta. How I got started cutting my hair, high school. My uncle messed me up one summer right before the first day of school. And, he gave me a fade, but it wasn't faded. I had three big railroad tracks on both sides of my head. And I went to school and, the kids gave me the business.
Yeah.
And I was all right with the guys doing that. But then, there was this girl I liked and she really gave me the business. And after that, I said, man, nobody cut my hair no more. So I started cutting my own hair and then, practicing on my brothers until eventually, I got it down. And then I just started, cutting everybody's hair, $5,
Yeah.
That's how I went. I went in the Army, I was still cutting hair. I was in the Air Force. I was still cutting hair, on the side. I had my own shop down in Warner Robins, and then I relocated up here to the Atlanta area. But I've been doing it a little over 28 years, something like that.
Okay.
But I became officially licensed in 2005.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a while.
So are you in a shop now or are you in a suite?
I'm in a suite.
Okay.
I'm in a suite. When I first moved up here to the Atlanta area, I was in a shop, but then I ended up moving to a salon suite only because of the atmosphere, in the shop. It wasn't, conducive to my clientele. When I first moved up here, I was doing, a lot of guys, and the crazy thing about it, I was posting guys. I wasn't heavily into doing the women's hair, cutting women's hair, which I can do. But then I started seeing a lot of Atlanta barbers that were cutting women's hair, doing color, doing designs. And I'm like, well, shoot, I can do that too. And
Yeah.
so I started posting, I did one woman's cut, then it was 2 women, 3 women. And then it just exploded into something that I wasn't even trying to do. I wasn't trying to target the women. I was just trying to get people to sit in my chair because I needed money.
Yeah.
I like to eat, so
Yeah.
I needed money. and like I said, it just turned into something that I wasn't even, trying to do.
Okay. So what's been the difference between the salon suite and the shop atmosphere in terms of it being conducive for your clientele?
Well, especially for me, having 98% of my clients are women, just being able for them to be comfortable, they can come into the shop, don't have to worry about, hey, shawty, none of that, none of that,
Yeah.
no cussing going on. The atmosphere is good, it's more personable, is pretty private. Also with, some of the ladies, some of them have alopecia, some of them are thinning, and they don't want to be around, a whole bunch of guys, all eyes on them, So it definitely gives them the privacy that they want. And, it just makes it for a better atmosphere.
Okay. Yeah, there's 3 barbers that come to mind whenever I think of barbers that really do an excellent job, along with yourself, of servicing female clientele that really, from meeting them, they told me, or I heard them speak on how they really focused on female clientele for varying reasons. But Easy the Barber, who's actually a really good friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
Bravado Grooming, my guy Sam Glickman, and
Right.
Step the Barber. Those
Right.
two, along with yourself, I've really noticed the focus that you guys have had in terms of really, really narrowing down that clientele and just being really high quality barbers in that field. So, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I could tell like I was saying before, when I had first heard about you, I kind of do my background search and I look through people's Instagram pages, make sure it's about business, and it's focused,
Right.
et cetera. So that's what I noticed. So, so I appreciate that. So
Absolutely.
when you said that you officially became licensed in 2005, did you go to school or were you an apprentice?
No, I went to school. I went to Central Georgia Technical College in Macon.
Okay.
Yes, and then probably about a year after I graduated, Miss Sandra Lane,
I know her.
yeah, she called me like, "Hey, Mr. Farrell, remember you from school? You came in, you did your work, and you're like, hey, we wanted to know if you were interested in a teaching position." And I was like, "Who, me?" And
Okay.
so I ended up teaching there for like 9 years.
Really? I didn't know. Okay. So you were
Yes,
in the TCSG family.
yes,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna have to definitely do some talking after this. Wow.
yes.
Okay. So you taught for 9. So were you full time or part time?
I was part-time. I taught in the evening. I taught evening classes.
Okay.
Yes, I
Because
taught evening classes.
Central Georgia Tech don't they have 2 campuses?
Yes, they have the Warner Robins campus and the Macon campus.
Okay.
So I taught at the Macon campus on Eisenhower Parkway.
So the other one, is that the one that Mr. Tols is at?
Yes,
Oh,
that's the Warner Robins campus. Yes.
okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know Mr. Tols pretty well because he's actually I don't really know what you call it now, but he's like the liaison between the barber instructors and the barber
Yes, he was the
program.
department head down there.
Yeah, he's like our liaison between all of the barber programs
Mm-hmm.
that are technical colleges and state board.
Yep. Yep.
So he's like our kind of, I guess you could say, like our go-between. So
Yes.
I've been at Atlanta Tech now for, I think it's 6 years now. So,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of interesting to kind of hear, the story of another instructor, for you to have been a part-time instructor for that long. Did you like teaching?
Yes. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. The only thing for me, the only reason I stopped was because I relocated up here, and just the commute
Mhm.
back and forth. Yeah, it started whooping me.
Yeah,
It started whooping me because I taught evening classes, and in order for me to get to class on time, I had to leave here at like 2 o'clock.
yeah.
To get there on time. Because anything after that, 3:30, you can forget it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk. Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk because
Hmm.
it's hard finding good instructors. And
Hmm.
like I said, from just the feedback that I got from those couple of students that we were talking about earlier on, before we started recording, I got a really good sense that you take it seriously, which is good. So
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
so when it comes to being in the industry now, what are some challenges that well, let's go back first a little bit. So in that transition to starting to service female clients on a more exclusive level, like do you have any specific challenges in regards to kind of like really focusing on female clientele?
Um, Only challenges, like I said, for me at the time was just the environment where I was at,
Okay.
was that barbershop where I was at. Because like I said, you could tell the women would come in, and then it was just the atmosphere. Like I said, they're cussing, they're playing, music with the raunchy lyrics in it and whatnot. And I just felt like, if I'm uncomfortable, then I can just imagine how this lady is feeling hearing,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah. But other than that, no challenges, because like whenever I get a new female client, I'll call them like a couple of days before. I'll consult with them over the phone. Build a rapport with them before they even get to the shop. So that way, by the time they come to me, we've already talked, we've already established a relationship before they get to the shop. So now, once they get there, we're going to go over it again, what we consulted about, and then after that, it's pretty much just make the magic happen after that.
Yeah. So when it comes to um I noticed that on your page that I don't really know how to describe it. I don't know if it's that you do weightlifting competitions or if you're just built like that or what. But like, what gave you the drive to make sure that you have kind of focus so much on like your physical fitness, I guess you could say.
Man, one, I just want to be healthy. I want to be healthy. Of course, I do it for the appearance too, but but no, man, I want to be healthy. Matter of fact, my birthday is Sunday. I'll be 51 on Sunday.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
it's I just want to live, man. I just want to be healthy, and I've always been into bodybuilding. I've been into bodybuilding since I was like 18 years old,
Okay.
you know, but I really got serious about it when I was 42.
Okay.
I competed until I was 45. I sat down for 5 years, and I just did a competition about 2 weeks ago. I
Okay.
just competed 2 weeks ago, and I came in fourth place in my age group, and I got ready in 2 months. So if I'd had another 2 months, the outcome definitely would have been different.
Yeah. So
So, but
when it comes to the barber industry, right? So did you at times develop bad habits when it came to like whether it was like your eating and stuff like that, like over the years,
oh,
hours
absolutely,
and all that? Like speak on that a little bit because I know I definitely speak
absolutely,
on it, but I want you to.
absolutely, man. Missing breakfast when I should be eating breakfast, missing lunch, or going to get, some trash lunch,
Yeah. Yeah.
McDonald's, whatever's convenient, I'll go to the gas station across the street, get the 2 for 1 hot dogs, or, you know, yeah, man, my habits, yeah, man, I have bad habits, even though people think that I don't. And trust me, now I can eat pretty much what I want to eat,
Hmm.
because my metabolism is like super high, but eventually that'll all catch up with me too. But yeah, I definitely have bad habits. I'm a pizza fanatic. I love milkshakes. But yeah, I definitely have bad habits, man, when it comes to especially like if it's a long day.
Yeah.
I'll grab some chips or something just to put something in my stomach or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm normal like everybody else, man. I'm not eating 100% clean all the time. I try to,
Yeah. Yeah.
but during competition season, yes, I have to. I definitely eat clean then, but I have no choice then.
Yeah.
I don't want to get on stage and not present the best package.
Hmm. So what made you decide to start doing classes? We talked before we started recording about how you had did I can't remember if it was a color class or design class, but what made you decide to start doing classes even after you stopped teaching?
I get a lot of people DMing me, asking me, or they're DMing me, calling me, texting me, asking about classes. Do you teach classes? I am asked that on a pretty regular basis. And so I said, well, you know what? Since everybody's asking, let me go ahead and, put it out there and start offering it. And as soon as I did, people started jumping on it. And then, it's an extra source of income as well. So
Yeah. Were you nervous to do classes?
no, not at all.
Mm,
Not at all. Because I mean, it's easy to talk about something that I do on a regular basis. Easy to talk about something that I love. And I've
yeah.
been teaching classes pretty much my whole life from the time I went in the army. I was a air assault school instructor. I went into the Air Force. I did medical classes, instructing. So then, of course, I was at the school. I've been teaching pretty much
Yeah.
all my life, man. So it was normal. It was just like riding a bike.
Have you thought about getting back into teaching like at a school?
Yes, yes.
Mm,
I've I said to myself, because I'm not interested in opening up a barber shop. Someone asked me that the other day. Hey, are you going to open up shop? No, I don't even care to open up a shop at
yeah.
all. I don't want the headache. I don't want the overhead. But I would definitely be interested in going back to school to teach or opening up a school and teaching.
Okay. Okay.
And so that's my aspirations. But yeah, I don't want to open up a shop. I don't want to own a shop.
So for somebody who's in school now or an apprentice or anything like, or, and their time is just about done, they're about to really kind of start getting into the field, what advice would you have for them?
Research, research wherever it is that you want to work. Because most of the time, most of the students that are already in school, they already have an idea of where they're going to go work if they're not already working. Most of the time they're already working in a shop, but for the ones that are, brand new and never been in a shop, I say research where you're going to go work at. I've went through it. When I finished school, I'll go looking for a job, and the guy, the owners, they'll be like, yeah, we got walk-ins all the time. Yeah, we got plenty of walk-ins. And then when you go, they say, okay, well, I want to work here. Once you start working there, you see there are no walk-ins.
Yeah.
And then the owner's telling you, well, you got to promote yourself.
Yeah.
So
The generic answers. Yeah.
exactly. So, that's why I say if you want to get into a shop and you want to, hit the ground running, find a shop that truly does have a lot of walk-ins, go in there, check them out on not just on Friday and Saturday, check them out, through the early part of the week,
Yeah.
see what it's like. Come check out the atmosphere, go check it out.
So what do you do to build your clientele now, or to sustain or maintain the clientele that you have? What do you do in terms of, or are you still building clientele? Or
Yes, still building, and it's been phenomenal. But the main thing that I do for me is Instagram. I've only been on Instagram like a year and a half, and the main thing that I would say do is post constantly. Post your content constantly. Use your hashtags, to, get that outreach out there so you're seen all over, that whole Instagram algorithm and all that type stuff.
Yeah.
And mainly for me, what works for me is engage your followers. Engage your followers, and, not knocking some of the celebrity barbers in Atlanta, but they say engage your followers. They say, I hear them all the time, I don't have time to respond to everybody. I don't have time to answer every DM. I respond to everybody that comments on my photos or videos. I answer all of my DMs, unless it's some foolishness now. But other than that, you respond to everybody. When I'm on live, I acknowledge everybody that's on my live. People like to be acknowledged. People like to hear their name,
Yeah.
People like to see their name tagged,
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've gotten clients just because I said their name on a live.
Wow.
Because I acknowledge them. Acknowledge your followers, interact with your followers. But that's how I get a lot of clients from the hashtag, especially ATL barbers. If you click on ATL barbers, you'll see my work all over that hashtag ATL barbers. Because I ask my clients when they come on, like, well, hey, how did you find me? How did you end up in my chair? And they'll say, well, I clicked on ATL barbers and I saw your work, and then they say, I watch you on your lives, you look like you love your work, so on and so forth. And that's how I get a lot of clients. I go live like in the evening times, and I do a lot of Q&As with my followers. I have them ask me questions. I tell them about myself. I ask about themselves. Interact with your followers. And be personable, but you don't have to be personal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but that's what I do. I am still getting clients. I'm still getting new clients daily.
So you've been doing this for a while. You clearly, obviously, as you mentioned, you love what you're doing. What inspires you to keep going? What inspires you to stay up on your craft?
Because the industry is constantly changing. It's constantly changing. Styles are constantly changing. The wants and needs of the clients are constantly changing. Today they may want to fade. Tomorrow they may want to even all over. Today they may want an intricate design. Next time they might want a simple design. And then of course the main thing for me is my name. My name is on the line, because once you come in, I cut your hair, and you walk out that door, now we're in a relationship now.
Absolutely.
we're in a relationship, because once you walk outside now, people are going to ask you one of two ways. Wow, who cut your hair? Or it's going to be, who cut your hair? You know,
it's gonna be asked one of two ways. Yeah.
right, right. You know, and either way, my name is going to be attached to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the main thing, man. My name, I want to keep my name in good standing.
So speaking of your name, how did you come up with your Instagram name?
Okay, see,
I mean, hey,
I
you
get
have
asked.
names. So
Hey, I get asked that a lot, but I didn't come up with it. One of my clients, his name is Clarence C.J. Lee.
okay.
He was in the Air Force with me down in Warner Robins, and so when he became a client, he would bring other clients. He brought me a bunch of clients. I was cutting a lot of people off of Robins Air Force Base. So, you know, he was saying, "Hey, man, you know, when you go see my barber, man, go see my man, my barber, the baddest barber in town. You know, ain't nobody bad like my barber, man. My barber, the baddest barber. I'm telling you." So, you know, he ended up getting killed. I cut his hair one night. This was because his dad had passed away like 2 weeks earlier,
Mm,
and then he got killed 2 weeks after his dad passed. Because he came in, he had been in the house, you know, because his dad passed. He was, you know, going through it, and so he just wanted to get out the house that night. And so he came in. I cut his hair. Him and his best friend T. And so, you know, like, "Hey, man, you know, come on out tonight." I was like, "Well, you know, I don't go out." So I said, "I'll holler at you later, man. You know, love y'all, man." And so T called me like 2 o'clock in the morning. CJ had got shot. You know, he died. I, you know, went to the hospital. By the time I got there, he was already gone.
mm,
And so I just kept the baddest barber. That's how I ended up with the baddest barber.
mm, mm, mm. Well,
So
the good thing about that story, you know, it stems from something of sadness, but that's gonna be a name that lasts forever, and it's something
mhm,
that came from him. You know, so
yeah,
I always ask
absolutely.
people, like where they got their name from. So the story is always interesting, and that's another one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. He's on my page. It's like, you know, like when I very first started the page, you got to scroll way down, but I got a picture of him down there on the bottom of the page, and I, you know, tell that whole story. But yeah, so that's how that came to be. So that's where it came from. So I didn't just wake up, yeah, I'm the baddest. He told me that, you know what I'm saying? So because of him, that's where it came from.
So where do you see yourself? Like, what's next in line for you? What's the next steps for you?
Like I said, man, the next step for me, I'm really interested in either going back to school to teach or opening up a school. Like I said, I don't have a desire to open up a shop. You know, I like the suite life for one. I
Yeah.
like working in the suite. I like the privacy of a suite, you know, but I have no desire to, if anything, I'll probably move into a bigger suite, you know, and make it more like a shop, but it'll just be me in there,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
make it more cozy for my clients or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my plans. But yeah, I definitely have the desire to teach again because I enjoyed it. I loved it, you know. Then I knew I was good at it, you know. So I definitely that's what's on the horizon for me. I'm not. I used to want to do like, you know, platform work and all that type stuff, but I can do that anytime. But my passion is teaching. You know, that's what I want to get into.
Okay. Well, Daryl, man, we really appreciate having you on today. I'm looking forward to really doing some work with you, just down the road on some other things, because we're definitely going to talk about this teaching thing for sure.
Absolutely.
I'd like to pick your brain on some stuff. But again, uh, look forward to having you on the next visit down the road. We appreciate
Yes,
your
sir.
time. And we know that all of our listeners and all those that are watching out there have greatly appreciated all the work that you're doing and how you're continuing to push our culture forward. So we thank you again for coming in today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, cool.